Apple just announced the new AirPods Pro 3 alongside the Apple Watch Series 11, Apple Watch Ultra 3, and Apple Watch SE 3. And I was able to go hands-on with all of them after the event on Tuesday. And so I wanted to give you some of my first impressions, because on the surface, these products might look familiar, but there are a few bigger improvements that are worth talking about. Now, before we get into any of that, I do just want to quickly mention that if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you decide that you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe, because we have tons of new content coming out in the next days, few weeks, and months. All of the new devices that were announced, all of the upcoming software updates, and so much more. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Okay, so let's start with AirPods Pro 3. And from a design perspective, they might seem nearly identical, but if you really get down and look closer, the actual AirPods themselves and even the case have some pretty significant tweaks. The case is slightly lighter, and instead of a back pairing button, just like the AirPods 4, we have that new capacitive button on the front. And if you want to enter in pairing mode, you just tap it like 2 or 4 times. Also, the AirPod itself definitely has a new design to it, especially the part that goes like inside the ear. The tips are actually made of memory foam and now have a silicon-like coating around it. So that will probably help with some of the ANC that's added to the improvements there. And then it's also worth mentioning that there is a heart rate sensor on the back so that you can track your workouts. And you don't actually need an Apple Watch to be able to track workouts now. You just go into the fitness app on your iPhone, and if you have AirPods in, you'll get your heart rate, and you'll be able to track the workouts, steps, all of that. And there's like 50 workouts that you can choose from. I was able to test this out in Cupertino, and yeah, it seemed pretty accurate. You can see my steps and my heart rate gets higher as I'm obviously walking up a ton of steps. And you are able to see your heart rate on your iPhone. And it actually comes in now a new live activity on your lock screen, which is pretty cool. Sound quality has also noticeably improved, and the profile changed a little bit, which is interesting. There's more low end than before. It's not like muddy low end either. It's pretty good. It's punchy, balanced, and it sounds excellent. ANC has improved, according to Apple at least. It's about 2 times better than the previous generation. Now, I had a very brief time testing it, and so really hard for me to like definitively agree, but we did do some tests at Apple Park. And yeah, I mean, it works really well, but it worked well before too. Transparency mode has also been improved. It's just much more natural, especially for voices. Like my voice sounded a little bit more natural than what it has before. And also you have live translation, though this isn't something that is exclusive to the AirPods Pro 3, as you can use live translation with the AirPods Pro 2 and AirPods 4. But I was speaking to a Spanish-speaking employee at Apple, and well, since I don't speak Spanish, I can't 100% say that this was totally accurate, but it sounded right to me, and the translation that I got back made sense in the conversation that we were having. So I guess it works. I'll have to test this out with a language that I do actually pretty much understand completely, which is Italian. But yeah, during my first impressions of the AirPods Pro 3 as a whole, there are some huge improvements to the sections that matter most, which is comfort and sound quality. And the fit should be a lot better for those of you out there who had a hard time with the fit in the first place. Moving on to Apple Watch and starting with the SE 3, this is one of the biggest jumps from its predecessor. For the first time in years, Apple has really upgraded the SE 3 to now feature the S10 chip, which is the latest and greatest. It actually hasn't been updated this year to an S11, so we're still on the S10 chip. You do get always-on display for the first time. It also has double tap and wrist flick gesture support, wrist temperature sensing, sleep apnea detection, fast charging, on-device Siri processing, and even 5G on the cellular models. There's a new sleep score, which is a big addition across the lineup, but again, also available on other supported watches running watchOS 26, so you don't need to buy a new Apple Watch to get that. It also breaks down your sleep duration, consistency, wake-ups, and time in each stage to give you an overall rating each night. You'll find the SE3 available in Starlight and Midnight and 40 and 44 millimeter sizes, and it starts at only $249. So for a budget-friendly model, it finally feels like it offers everything that you would want from a, again, kind of entry-level Apple Watch. Now, Apple Watch Series 11, those updates are even more minimal, honestly. The Ion X crystal glass now has 2x better scratch resistance, but it's not available on the titanium models. They stick with the sapphire crystal, so there's really no change there. The big story is really just 5G connectivity for faster cellular performance and a redesigned antenna that boosts weak signal areas, as well as battery life jumping from 18 hours to 24 hours, and fast charging gives you about 8 hours and 15 minutes. There's a new hypertension detection feature, but it's, again, not limited to these new models. It is available on a Series 9 or later and Ultra 2 or later. This feature analyzes your blood vessel response over 30-day periods to spot signs of high blood pressure. You'll then get a notification if any signs are detected, with more information projected in the Health app on what steps you should take next. Series 11 will start at $399 and comes in aluminum and titanium finishes. Finally, the Apple Watch Ultra 3 is one that got a few more different features and upgrades at least, but it still keeps the same familiar design, although it was able to stretch the display out a little bit while keeping the casing the same size, which is 49 millimeters. It's now the largest display ever on Apple Watch with those 24% reduction in borders, and it does come with the same display improvements as the Series 10. So you get that wider angle OLED display that's brighter from different viewpoints and angles, and it comes with an updated refresh rate that's able to update the seconds hand even while in always-on mode, which is what we got with the Series 10 last year. Battery life is also significantly improved here, so we have 42 hours of normal use, 72 in low power mode, and 20 hours of GPS workouts with full heart rate monitoring. A quick 15-minute charge gives you 12 hours of use. The standout feature here, though, is the satellite connectivity. You can now message contacts, share your location, and even text emergency services when you're off the grid. So if the watch detects a fall or crash while you're unconscious and off the grid, you can also have automatic contact for emergency services via satellite too. Ultra 3 also gets 5G for faster downloads, the same hypertension, sleep score features as the Series 11, and the new Workout Buddy with Apple Intelligence for real-time motivation in watchOS 26. It is also still rated for 100 meters of water resistance, and pricing still starts at $799. So that's the new lineup of the non-iPhone products that were announced at the event. The SE3, probably the most complete entry-level Apple Watch, or really the most complete entry-level smartwatch in my opinion. The Series 11 adds a couple of tweaks here and there, but it's really the Ultra 3 which pushes outdoor and safety features further with the satellite connectivity. And AirPods Pro 3 definitely is a improvement that I would recommend, even if you have the Pro 2, but definitely from AirPods Pro to AirPods Pro 3, there's going to be a huge improvement there. So which one are you most excited about? Which one are you thinking about upgrading to? Let me know down in those comments. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.